I didn't think Joe Biden was going to run. And then I thought, well, maybe he is going to run. And then I watched him do this sort of public therapy where he's grieving for his late son and saying he just didn't have the emotional fuel to mount a presidential campaign. Well, he's not running. And then more leaks from his camp about, well, they're talking to fundraisers and looking at the early states. And the Wall Street Journal reported that he's more likely to run than not, except unless he changes his mind. And then a leak to NBC saying that Joe Biden's wife, Jill Biden, the second lady, is perfectly comfortable with her husband running for president if he chooses to do so. So I don't have any idea at this point. It does seem like Biden is walking right up to the line, and he has to decide soon. You not only have filing deadlines coming up, but if he's going to run, he may as well get into that October 13th first Democratic debate against Hillary Clinton and Bernie Sanders. You look at the polls, and Biden is practically tied with Sanders now, around 22%. Hillary Clinton about 42%. And let's face it, it is Hillary Clinton's weakness as a candidate, even though she's blipped up a little bit in the polls now that she's actually doing television interviews, that has created this opening. We wouldn't even be talking about whether Biden's going to run. The vice president himself wouldn't even be looking at it were it not for the perceived weakness of Hillary Rodham Clinton. So let's say he gets in. Now, here's where it's harder to me to figure out. I do think there's a lot of public sympathy for Joe Biden because of the death of Beau Biden. And I also think that in a year when clearly the voters want authenticity, I mean, Joe Biden is very real. Anybody who watches him talk and the way he connects with people can see that, whether you agree with his policies or not. But let's look at the liabilities. For one thing, in an anti-incumbent year, in a year when people are just absolutely fed up with politics and politicians, the incumbent vice president of the United States, who would have to defend the 7-year record of Barack Obama, is he the ideal candidate? How would he match up against Donald Trump? If Donald Trump were the Republican nominee, that's hard to say. Is he going to go after Hillary Clinton? I mean, by and large, with some exceptions, Joe Biden's view of the world as a liberal Democrat is very similar to that of Hillary Clinton as a liberal Democrat, former senator and former secretary of state. Are they going to contrast aggressively each other's records? Will it come to that? And if not, what is Biden's rationale from running? How does he separate himself? Why would he goes around talking about income inequality and how the middle class is getting screwed. Okay, who's been in charge for the last 7 years? So I don't know how Biden meets those challenges and how he can promote himself as something new and different. And he is, of course, in his early 70s, and that is a potential problem. And he would be standing in the way, at least in the way many Democrats see it, of the first female president. And remember, Biden's run twice before, and that didn't work out so well. So I don't want to underestimate the vice president. He has tremendous retail political skills, but every political candidate needs a rationale. And Biden himself has said this. I don't know quite what his rationale is now, other than Hillary is sagging and maybe the party needs to turn to him. But I do think he better make up his mind soon. One, if he's going to get into this race, he may as well take the plunge. And two, we in the media are getting just a little bit tired of the guessing game.